Justin Tomlinson, he's been campaigning, North Swindon I should say, he's been campaigning for CPR to be taught in schools. This issue is very personal for you, isn't it, because of your father's death? Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, David. Yes, and first of all, can I pay tribute to the bravery of Matt in that situation, and it shows what a difference having knowledge in this area makes. And you've rightly set out some really powerful statistics. And the reality is there are 10,000 cases of a cardiac arrest outside of hospitals a year where there are bystanders who don't necessarily have the confidence to step in. Your point about people fear that they could make things worse. There is nothing worse than doing nothing at all.
I know it's probably still very painful to you after all these years, but just to outline what happened to you when you were just 12.
Yeah, so my family, they used to own shops, and one evening I went with my father to go and collect the money from one of the shops, and he popped in. He was longer than he would normally be, so I went to go and investigate, and I found my dad, and he had had a heart attack. And the adrenaline kicked in, and I did my very best on CPR, and probably based on what I'd perhaps seen on something like Coronation Street, I certainly hadn't had any formal training. Now, we were lucky in the sense that it was in a busy area, and before too long, other people passed by who then took over until the ambulance turned up. Now, sadly, my father still passed away, but it reinforced to me that importance. And I've met many people during my time as an MP, both locally and also working with the British Heart Foundation in Parliament. I've done countless speeches, events and all sorts of things. And with Francis Mwamba, the footballer who died for 51 minutes and was only saved by a GP in the crowd who kept doing CPR, because it is that point about your chances of survival of a cardiac arrest are, in this country, they're abysmal. 12% is the chance. And for every minute that you don't get help, your chances fall by 10%. Now, in other countries, where we have a nation of lifesavers, where they do train in schools, the survival chances have gone up to 50%. That's thousands and thousands more people every year. And I am desperate to see this become a compulsory part of our education. It's only half an hour's commitment, and we have made progress. The government has now written to every school and said that we would like to see them do this, and provided working with the likes of St John's Ambulance and British Heart Foundation. And that's great, and I celebrate that. But I want us to go that last final step and make sure that every single school does this.
OK, we must leave it there. You've made your point very powerfully. Thanks for joining us tonight.